Naomi, thanks for joining me. How are you doing today?
Absolutely fine, not a problem. Yeah, no, all good. Thank you,
All good.
Chris.
Perfect. So, for those that don't know who you are, Naomi, just want to give a quick introduction as to who you are and where you're currently working.
Yeah, sure. So my name's Naomi. I'm a senior lecturer at Manchester Metropolitan University. So I have only been there for a few months. I teach primarily on the performance analysis modules. But prior to moving to Manchester Met, I was at a different university, the University of Chichester. And then prior to that, quite a strong background in football, working as an applied practitioner for the Football Association. So working mainly with the England women's teams.
Yeah, nice. So, what is your, in terms of then, you're obviously doing performance analysis with the university, what are your other specialities then when it comes to with the women's football, for example?
Yeah, so I guess when I was at the FA, I was head of sports science, so quite a general title, so to speak. And obviously, it was quite a while ago, so they didn't have as many kind of specialists in at the time.
Yeah.
So I was kind of the person that did all sports science related activity. So probably more, I guess, from a fitness coach
Hmm.
type area, and then sort of GPS, training load management,
Yeah.
those kind of areas, really.
Yeah, nice. So obviously today we're just going to speak mainly about performance analysis. That's my background, and that's what the channel's all about. So I want to ask you first, then, really, now is the popularity of analysis in sport. How you've kind of, from what you've said there, you've been involved in sport for several years, both applied in club setting, but also at universities. So how have you found the popularity change, and are you seeing students now seeing that as a career that they would like to do more so than they did, back to say 10 years ago?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's a hugely popular topic for students. Firstly, I think they really enjoy the
Mm.
modules on PA. I think it's a little bit more interesting, perhaps a little bit more engaging for them than some of their modules that might have probably a little bit more sort of theoretical background. So I think first and foremost, the students enjoy it. But also, I think coupled with that, they really can see that there are opportunities for employment in the area.
Mm.
It's one of my sort of opening note really when I start talking to them about the subject and just say, look, there are a lot of jobs in this area,
Mm.
whether that's internships, placements, and then also kind of paid employment. So yeah, I think, it's a growing area, as we know. Technology is always changing, which means what we actually deem as PA is also changing. But yeah, I think great subject for students and nice that there are those avenues for them to gain employment as
Mm.
well.
Yeah, definitely. So you mentioned performance analysis done level 5 and level 6. So is that the course itself, or is that a module on a course? And is it a core module? Is it one that the students choose? How does that look at Manchester Met?
Yeah, sure. So at ManMet, we've got two performance analysis modules. So we've got one at level 5, which is performance analysis, and then at level 6, we've got advanced performance analysis. See what we did there?
Yeah.
Both modules are optional. So students basically get to choose if they want to take those modules. We get students on the modules from different courses. So sport and exercise science, sports coaching and development, and also we've got a Manchester City community coaching program as well. So it's nice in that fact that we get kind of a diverse range of students who've got kind of different interests, different sports as well. So at the moment, level 5, we've got about 150 students on that module. And then I think the level 6 ran with about 80 or so this year. So big numbers,
Yeah.
popular subject.
That's good. That's really good. So, and I know you said you've not been there too long at Manchester Met. So, just on from what you've kind of had so far. So, I'm just curious to know a little bit more about what the students actually do. So, let's focus on the level 5 then. So, the performance analysis module. What are the students expected to do? What's their kind of project when it comes to the analysis section?
Yeah, so I'm a few months into ManMet, so I'm learning all about the university, the course, all of those things. But yeah, specifically the level 5 module. As I said, it's kind of just called performance analysis. So we really kind of introduce it to the students as almost like an A to Z of performance analysis. They're going to learn what it is, why it's important, how we use it.
Mm.
So we have a lecture series that runs throughout the module, and then obviously we have kind of seminar type workshop sessions as well, where they actually get the opportunity to get their hands on some kit, get some practical experience. So we started with some filming. I know not all sports have to film anymore, there's automated systems for that, but we thought it would be, a good opportunity for them
Yeah,
to
yeah,
try that. And then the last few weeks they've been using in play. So taking some of the footage they actually filmed of themselves and others participating, plus also some kind of broadcast footage.
yeah.
And really, all of the activities that we do throughout the module all link to the final assessment, which is a group presentation.
Mm.
Obviously, we've got a lot of numbers to contend with, so it's a group presentation. And what we ask the students to do is to pick one game to analyse, obviously, choice of sports, keep
Yeah,
them all interested, and they get to do an individual player analysis from their chosen sport,
yeah.
obviously using in play, and then getting them to think as well about some of the theoretical aspects as well. So, what the reliability is of their system, show their kind of tagging window and things like that. And talk a little bit generally about PA as well to make sure that they were paying attention in the first few weeks of the lectures as well.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously you mentioned the use of in-play there. So you said tagging panels, tagging windows. So presuming they've got the video, whether it's one they've collected or some broadcast video, they're able to tag it on in-play. And then you mentioned the presentation. So I'm presuming they are then maybe exporting clips with playlists, and they've got the option if they want to add drawings as well. I don't know if that's a thing, but that's there for them. I think it's important when you said the numbers, because obviously that is a lot of students are using it, and obviously we work with several other unis and they're all different sizes, so it could be a module with just 10 students, but where you said there's over 100. I think the collaboration kind of comes in good. It's definitely a positive there, because if you are working in groups, the students can collaborate with one another on there, even collaborate with yourself and other members of staff to be able to share feedback. So no, that's perfect. So I would, on other videos like this now, I've asked kind of why you chose in play. You didn't choose in play. You've just joined the.
It was given to us.
You've just joined. So, but you have used it over the last kind of, and we've had we kind of before this a few weeks, or it was before Christmas now. But I kind of run you through a demo. So just to kind of gauge what your thoughts are really, Naomi, and why that kind of fits with the students that use it now at Manmet, if you can.
Yeah. So as you say, I didn't choose in play. It was what we got when I got there. But to be honest, I think it's a really good fit for what we're trying to achieve and what we're trying to do with the students. Again, as I mentioned, we've got big numbers. We need to have a system that isn't dependent on those students coming to a particular room in
Yeah,
the university where there's maybe 20 computers that have got a license for a certain software. Like, that's not going to work because of the numbers, because of the geography of where the students are coming from. It's just not possible. So for me, that ability for them to be able to log on wherever they are works perfectly. You mentioned the collaboration piece as well. Group work, again, really nice and easy for them. It's almost like ways to help them with their group work. Often some of these things are kind of like barriers, whereas
yeah,
almost I think what I found with in play is that there's actually facilitators to those problems that you perhaps get in other software.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, say I'm not too far into my in play journey, but probably one of the key things for me is just it's so user friendly. You know, we did a little intro session with the students and then just leave them to it, let
yeah,
them find out how to do it. So, it seems to have everything that they need to do, and more features than I was expecting, really. Things like, the ability to annotate, to illustrate the clips before you then kind of take those out to maybe make into a playlist, into PowerPoint. That's a really nice bit of kit for them to be able to use. So definitely super easy for them to use, and coupled with all of your really nice YouTube clips of how
yeah,
do I do this,
yeah,
very helpful for particularly for me, new to the software. Students are asking me, how do I do this? And let's learn together.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
see, Chris has made us a nice video showing us how to
Yeah.
do it. So yeah, I mean, fantastic resources, simple to use.
Yeah, perfect. No, that's really good. So, what I do like to ask, I've done a few of these with different lecturers, Naomi. So, in terms of advice, so, and this doesn't have to be for a career in analysis, just in a career in sport in general. So, you come across a lot of students. So, what would you say as a piece of advice for students looking to basically have a career in sport?
So I've already started to talk to the level fives about it.
Mm,
I guess coming from an applied background myself,
mm,
and it kind of links in to analysis in this example that we've had a couple of sort of internships or placement opportunities, that I've been able to kind of present to the students, and obviously if they're interested in applying, but I kind of do my little bit of a sell at the start of that. And I think, you know, there's lots of people doing sports science degrees or sports coaching degrees. And, they're all going to come out with exactly the same degree, a lot of the same modules, but I'm just trying to kind of encourage them to just get some different experiences, whatever that might be, whether that's a placement somewhere, whether it's that they learn how to use a piece of kit, whether it's in play, Tableau, whatever it might be, something that just kind of makes them stand out. So yeah, just I think that's hugely important. Have other things on your CV
yeah,
other than I got this degree from this university.
yeah,
Um, and I think, from those other experiences, they'll learn so much as well, particularly if it is kind of in a team, in a placement type scenario, because nothing really prepares you for the world of
yeah.
working in sport. It's such a unique environment. And I
Mm,
think yes, the technical skills and the degree and all of the background, hugely important. But if you can't talk to people, if you don't know how to work as a team, if you don't know how to do the rubbish jobs that people don't want to do, you've got to kind of develop some of those skills. And actually, sometimes just having that work experience
yeah,
is probably the best way to learn. So
yeah,
get
definitely.
out there and do stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, that's there at uni as well. You've got all the university teams, that you have, so the students can volunteer with them on a Wednesday and whatever. So there's loads of opportunities to do that, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. And I said, even the students, I was like, even if you don't think you want to do analysis, I'm not trying to do a
Mhm.
hard sell on go and do an
Yeah,
analysis placement. I'm like, just go and do something,
yeah,
because actually those transferable skills that you're going to get from exposing yourself to different environments, going outside of your comfort zone, they'll help you with whatever you want to do.
yeah,
So
yeah, definitely. I think the experience as well kind of helps you learn or know more about what you enjoy and what you don't, what you might think you want to do analysis. You get in a club and you think, actually, this is not really for me. I'd rather do, something else. So yeah, there's that side of it as well.
yeah, definitely. And I think that's really relevant, particularly with analysis. And I try to, in the kind of seminars and workshops that we do with them, actually get them to code for a period of time or tag for a period
Yeah,
of time, because it's not hard to do, you can do it quickly. But one of the things is like kind of the monotony of doing
yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah.
which, isn't for everyone. Some people love it,
Mm.
some people it's not for them. So I think, as you say, it's almost like try before you buy, have a
Yeah.
little bit of experience of doing the job before you actually commit. So
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Perfect. Appreciate that, Naomi. So I'm sure we'll speak again soon. Keep learning in play. The videos are there for you. But anything you need, do give me a shout. But thanks again for your time.
not a problem. Thanks, Chris.